Let's be honest. Some remakes are released just to capitalize on past success and fill the company's pockets, without bringing anything new. But every now and then, a remake comes along that not only does justice to the original game, but even manages to surpass it. These are the remakes that make us relive memories, but with improved graphics, gameplay, and experiences that leave us amazed. Today, I'll show you the remakes that are truly worth your time. Those you need to play, whether to relive nostalgia or to discover for the first time what makes these games so special. This is Jack speaking, and if you're new here, welcome to the Play Hunters channel. I bring you daily content, so you don't miss a single detail of the gaming universe. And if you could subscribe to help me grow, I'd really appreciate it. From one gamer to another. Kicking off our list is Final Fantasy VII Remake. This game is a brilliant example of how to modernize a classic without losing the essence that won over millions of fans. The remake took everything that made the original a success. The captivating story, the memorable characters, and the vast, detailed world, and elevated it to a new level, with cutting-edge graphics and more dynamic, fluid gameplay. The combat system was completely reimagined, blending strategy with real-time action, offering an experience that keeps you hooked from start to finish. Far from the traditional turn-based style, the action is now continuous, with smooth transitions between exploration and combat. This allows the player to feel truly immersed, as if they were inside an action movie. Moreover, the graphical enhancements aren't just visual flair. They bring the world to life in a way that the original, due to the technical limitations of the time, simply couldn't. Exploring the streets of a futuristic city, facing threats around every corner, becomes almost addictive. This remake isn't just for veterans who experienced the original story in the 90s. It opens the door for a new generation of players who may have never played a game in this series before. With a rich narrative and characters that quickly become fan favorites, it's easy to see why this is considered one of the best remakes in recent years. In second place, we have Dead Space, which rose from the ashes with a remake that did justice to the horror the original game evoked. This classic of space horror was rebuilt from the ground up, maintaining the oppressive atmosphere and constant suspense that made it one of the best horror games of all time. The graphical improvements are striking, bringing a new layer of realism to the already claustrophobic environment of the spaceship, where every strange sound makes you grip the controller a little tighter. The gameplay has also been refined, making each confrontation even more tense and visceral, exactly as a good survival horror game should be. The creatures lurking in the darkness seem even more menacing, thanks to new technology that allows for more detailed destruction of enemies. Each combat becomes a battle for survival, and that's exactly what fans of the genre expect. That spine-chilling fear that only a good horror game can provide. What really sets this remake apart is the way it respects the original material while making significant improvements. It's proof that with modern technology, it's possible to take an already excellent game and make it even better. For longtime fans, it's a chance to relive a nightmare that marked an era. For new players, it's the perfect opportunity to experience one of the best horror games ever made. And let's be honest, there's nothing quite like feeling that knot in your stomach as you explore the dark corners of a spaceship. In third place, we have Tony Hawk's, which brought back a genre that had been abandoned by the industry but was hugely popular in the 90s and 2000s. This remake not only updated the graphics to current standards, but also captured the essence of what made these games a cultural phenomenon. From the iconic soundtrack, filled with hits that defined a generation, to the fluid movements that make every trick feel like a work of art, it's easy to lose hours trying to beat your own records or discover new moves. The gameplay, which has always been one of the series' strong points, has been refined to the max. The physics of the tricks are more precise than ever, allowing each jump, grind, and flip to be executed with pinpoint accuracy. The feeling of pulling off a perfect combo, stringing one trick after another without missing a beat, is simply gratifying. And, of course, the nostalgia hits hard as you revisit the classic maps. Now with a level of detail that makes it feel like you're seeing these places for the first time, but with that comforting familiarity. On top of all this, The remake offers new modes and challenges that keep the game fresh, even for those who have exhausted the original content. It's a celebration of what the game has always been: pure fun and adrenaline. In fourth place, we have Resident Evil 4, one of the best remakes ever made. This title isn't just a retelling. It's a reimagining that captures the best of the original while adding new layers of complexity and immersion. The visuals, now incredibly detailed, breathe new life into the dark and tense environments, where every corner could conceal a new threat. It's the kind of game that makes you look over your shoulder, even when you're safely on your couch. The gameplay has also been overhauled, enhancing the overall experience. The controls are more precise, allowing for fluid movement and quick reactions, which are essential in a game where danger is always lurking. The feeling of being in constant peril is palpable, but at the same time, the player feels empowered by the new combat mechanics, which make every enemy encounter more strategic and engaging. And of course, the nostalgia is always present, but in a way that makes each moment feel both familiar and fresh. This remake is a true gift for veteran fans of the series, but it also serves as the perfect introduction for those who've never had the chance to experience the intense horror and relentless action that define Resident Evil 4. Whether you're a longtime fan or a newcomer to the horror genre, this title offers an experience that's impossible to ignore. The constant tension and immersive challenges keep you hooked from start to finish, always leaving you wanting more. In fifth place, we have The Last of Us, a remake that came to redefine what it means to tell a compelling story in video games. Since the release of the original, this game has become a landmark in the gaming world, and the remake elevates it to a new level. The graphics have been completely overhauled, bringing a richness of detail that transforms every scene into a true work of art. The post-apocalyptic setting has never felt so real. And let's not forget the moments of pure tension and suspense, which, with the improved graphics and sound, can leave anyone on the edge of their seat. For those already familiar with the story, the remake offers a new way to experience this powerful narrative, while for new players, it's a chance to dive into one of the best games ever made. The attention to detail and respect for the original material make this remake an unmissable experience, leaving you with the feeling that games can be much more than just entertainment. Another outstanding remake is Resident Evil 1. The original, released in the 90s, was a milestone in the survival horror genre, and the remake not only retained that terrifying atmosphere, but also improved every technical and visual aspect. The graphics received special treatment, breathing new life into the iconic mansion with details that make every corner even more frightening. The lighting and shadow effects are used masterfully, creating a constant sense of tension. The gameplay was also modernized without losing the essence that made the original so special. For longtime fans, this remake is a love letter to the game that shaped the genre, while for new players, it's the perfect gateway into the world of Resident Evil. Combining nostalgia with innovation, this remake stands out as an example of how to remake a game without losing its soul. In seventh place, we have Shadow of the Colossus, a remake that does justice to the legacy of one of the most iconic games in video game history. The original was already a masterpiece, but this new version manages to capture and amplify the grandeur and melancholy that made it a classic. The graphics have received meticulous attention, with vast and colossal environments that now feel even more imposing and desolate. Each Colossus, reimagined with impressive detail, conveys a sense of power and mystery that is hard to find in any other game. The gameplay has been refined to meet modern expectations without losing the charm of the original. The climbing and combat mechanics have been smoothed out, making the experience both challenging and accessible. The battle against each Colossus is a unique blend of strategy and skill, where the player must understand and exploit the weaknesses of their gigantic opponents. The feeling of solitude, amplified by the vastness of the world and the absence of dialogue, remains one of the game's most captivating aspects, leaving a deep impression on anyone who plays it. For those who have already had the pleasure of playing the original, this remake is an opportunity to relive a unique experience, now with an added layer of beauty and complexity. And for new players, it's a chance to discover why this game is often cited as one of the best ever created. The combination of challenge, artistry, and narrative makes this remake an unforgettable journey. Next, we have Demon's Souls, a remake that resurrected the game that started an entire genre, the famous Souls-like. This new version brought stunning graphics that perfectly recreate the dark and brutal world that so many players love. The level of detail is impressive, from the gothic architecture of the environments to the terrifying monsters that inhabit every corner of this universe. The atmosphere of despair and loneliness, so characteristic of the original, has been amplified, making every step filled with tension and anticipation. The gameplay has also been revamped, maintaining the challenging essence that made the game famous, but with improvements that make the controls more responsive and the overall experience more refined. Boss battles, which were already epic in the original, are now even more intense, thanks to enhanced visuals and more precise physics. Each hard-earned victory brings a sense of accomplishment that few games can replicate. It's the kind of game that rewards perseverance, making every defeat a lesson and every victory a triumph. This remake is a gift for fans who have followed the series from the beginning and a formidable entry point for newcomers. The high difficulty can be intimidating, but it is precisely this challenge that creates such a rewarding experience. Every confrontation, every discovery, and every step into the unknown is filled with emotion and suspense, keeping players engaged and hungry for more. In ninth place, we have the Spyro Trilogy, a remake that brought back the charm and magic of the original games. With completely redesigned graphics, the trilogy transports players to a colorful and vibrant world where each realm is more enchanting than the last. The new version has captured the essence of the original game, but with an updated aesthetic that appeals to both longtime fans and new players. The design of the characters and environments has been meticulously recreated, bringing every detail to life and making exploration even more engaging. The gameplay has retained the simplicity and fun that made the title a success, but with refined controls that provide an even smoother experience. Jumping, gliding, and unleashing fire bursts are just as satisfying as before, now with the added benefit of smoother and more precise animations. The trilogy offers a perfect blend of nostalgia and innovation, allowing players to revisit their favorite levels with a new perspective without losing the charm that made the original so beloved. For fans of The Little Dragon, this new version is a celebration of everything that made this franchise an icon of platform games. For new players, it's the perfect opportunity to discover a series that defined a generation, now with modern visuals and even more enjoyable gameplay. In 10th place, we have The Legend of Zelda, a remake that beautifully captures the charm of the 1993 classic while updating it to modern standards without losing its essence. With completely revamped graphics and a delightful, almost handcrafted style, this game brings back an adventure full of magic and mystery. The updated visuals, featuring characters and environments that look like they've been plucked from a diorama, turn every location into something you'll want to explore in detail, adding a new layer of beauty to an already fascinating world. The gameplay remains faithful to the original, but with improvements that make the experience even more enjoyable. The combat system, puzzles, and exploration flow more smoothly, making every discovery a reward in itself. The soundtrack, already memorable, has been given special attention, with new versions of the classic tunes that enhance the experience even further. The combination of these improvements with the already excellent game structure makes this remake a true gem. For fans of the series, this reimagining is an opportunity to revisit one of Zelda's most unique adventures, now with renewed charm. For new players, it's a chance to experience one of the most beloved titles in the franchise, wrapped in a presentation that enchants from the very first moment. This remake is proof that great stories and solid gameplay mechanics are timeless and deserve to be rediscovered by each new generation. In 11th place, we have Persona 3 Reload, a remake that revitalizes one of the most beloved chapters in the Persona series. This remake brings the classic RPG into a new era, with enhanced graphics that bring characters and environments to life with impressive detail. The series' signature stylized aesthetic has been preserved, but now with a visual presentation that is both modern and faithful to the original spirit, making the player's journey through the game's world even more engaging and immersive. The gameplay has also been refined, retaining the time management and turn-based combat mechanics that made the original game stand out, but with improvements that make the experience even smoother and more strategic. The battle system has been adjusted to allow for greater tactical depth, while social interactions have been enriched, offering an even deeper immersion into the relationships and decisions that shape the story. The sense of progression and character development is one of the game's greatest strengths, perfectly balancing everyday life with the constant danger of battles. For fans of the series, this remake is a chance to revisit one of the franchise's most emotional and complex stories. Next on our list is Yakuza Kiwami, a remake that brings back the beginning of one of Sega's most acclaimed series. This title recreates the first game in the series with modernized graphics and improved gameplay while maintaining the essence that made the Yakuza franchise so popular. The remake features a level of detail that makes the city feel more alive than ever. The vibrant, bustling streets, full of life and danger, are an irresistible invitation to dive into the story and intense battles the game offers. The gameplay has been significantly improved, with more fluid and responsive combat. The fighting system, one of the series' highlights, allows players to utilize a variety of combat styles, offering an experience that combines strategy with frenetic action. The side missions and mini-games have been expanded, providing even more content and opportunities to explore the unique personality of this world. The game strikes a balance between high-tension moments and emotional scenes, creating an experience that is both rich in content and deeply satisfying. This is a chance to revisit the origins of the saga with a fresh perspective. In 13th place, we have Resident Evil 2, a remake that redefined what fans can expect from a reimagining. This title brought back the horror and tension of the original classic, now with graphics that elevate the atmosphere of terror to a new level. Every dark corner and narrow corridor has been recreated with a frightening level of detail, where lighting and sound effects work in perfect harmony to create a constant sense of impending danger. The visual experience is complemented by sound design that places you directly inside the nightmare, making every unexpected noise send your heart racing. The gameplay has been modernized, abandoning the tank controls of the original in favor of a more fluid and intuitive scheme, without losing the tension that is a hallmark of the series. Combat has become more tactical, requiring the player to make every bullet count, while exploration is rewarded with scares and surprises around every corner. Additionally, the remake added new areas and secrets, keeping even the most veteran fans on their toes as they navigate the zombie apocalypse. This remake is not just a celebration of a classic, it's also an example of how to reinvent a masterpiece for a new generation without sacrificing what made the original so beloved. In 14th place, we have Ratchet & Clank. This game was completely recreated with stunning graphics and fluid animations that make the colorful and vibrant universe of Ratchet & Clank leap off the screen. Every planet you explore is packed with details that enrich the visual experience, making exploration truly delightful. The cartoony aesthetic has been preserved, but now with a quality that rivals modern animated films. The gameplay, always one of the series' strong points, has been enhanced to meet current standards without losing the charm and fun that made the original so beloved. This remake is a true renewal that demonstrates how classic games can be reimagined for today's audiences. If you're looking for an adventure full of humor, action, and memorable moments, this title delivers just that, with an experience that captivates both veterans and new explorers of this universe. In 15th place, we have Halo: The Master Chief Collection, a compilation that brings back not just one, but several key chapters of the Halo saga. This remake/remaster is more than just a graphical update. It's a tribute to the legacy of one of the most iconic series in video games. With enhanced graphics and breathtaking resolution, players can revisit alien battlefields with clarity and detail that rival the latest releases. The Halo series has always been synonymous with epic action and vast landscapes, and now all of this has been elevated to new heights. The gameplay has been refined to maintain the fluidity and intensity that made Halo a landmark in first-person shooters. With so many stories and unforgettable moments gathered in one place, this collection stands out as a must-have for any lover of shooters. Continuing on, we have another collection of games, the Nathan Drake Collection, a remaster that brings together the first 3 adventures of Nathan Drake, offering a fresh way to experience the stories that define the Uncharted series. With updated graphics and enhanced performance, this collection transforms every setting into a work of art, from dense jungles to ancient ruins. The added detail to the world and characters makes each moment even more cinematic, capturing the spirit of adventure that made the series a landmark in action games. The gameplay has been subtly adjusted to ensure that every jump, climb, and shootout flows seamlessly. Improvements in combat and movement make the experience even more engaging, allowing players to feel the adrenaline of every action-packed scene. The narrative, always a strong point of the series, continues to shine, with sharp dialogues and memorable characters that keep the player invested from start to finish. What really sets this remaster apart is how it allows players to experience the growing complexity of the stories and challenges throughout the series. From brain-teasing puzzles to breathtaking chases, the game uniquely combines elements of exploration, action, and narrative. The sound design also deserves praise, as it amplifies every shot, every footstep on varied terrain, and every moment of silence before an explosive confrontation. This attention to auditory and visual details turns the experience into something deeply immersive, making every setting and discovery leave a lasting impression. In 17th place, we have Black Mesa, a fan-made remake that became officially recognized, reviving the classic Half-Life with a modern approach. This project is a complete reimagining of the game that revolutionized FPS in the 90s, featuring updated graphics, improved physics, and new areas that further expand the original experience. The atmosphere of mystery and danger has been preserved, but now with a visual immersion that makes the research facility's environments feel more alive and real. Every corridor and room gains a new dimension of suspense as you uncover the secrets hidden within Black Mesa. The gameplay has also received significant adjustments to align with current standards, with more precise controls and improved AI that make encounters even more intense. The way enemies react and the need to think quickly in each situation raise the challenge level, making every victory hard-earned and satisfying. Additionally, the new areas introduced not only expand the narrative, but also bring new puzzles and challenges that test both the player's mind and reflexes. What makes Black Mesa particularly noteworthy is the balance between innovation and fidelity to the original. It's a journey that honors Half-Life's impact while daring to add new elements that enrich the overall experience. For those who never played the original, it's a chance to experience one of the most influential stories in video games. For veterans, it's an opportunity to rediscover a classic with fresh eyes and emotions. And as a bonus, I want to make 2 honorable mentions for remakes that haven't been released yet, but that I'm eagerly anticipating. The first is the highly anticipated remake of Metal Gear Solid 3, which has already generated huge excitement among fans of the series and stealth action game enthusiasts. Although the game has not yet been released, the trailers and preliminary information suggest that this reimagining promises to be something grand. The community is eager to see how the developers will modernize one of Kojima's most iconic titles, maintaining the essence that made the game a classic while bringing new layers of depth and immersion with updated graphics and mechanics. Expectations are high, especially regarding the gameplay. If the remake follows the trend of other major titles in the genre, we can expect a refined combination of stealth and action, where every move must be calculated precisely. Fans are eagerly awaiting how the survival mechanics, which were innovative in the original game, will be adapted to modern standards. Additionally, the game promises to take full advantage of the power of next-gen consoles, offering a visual and auditory experience that plunges players into the dangerous jungle and political intrigues of the era. Although we're still in the waiting phase, the hype surrounding this remake couldn't be higher. The potential to relive iconic moments with improved graphics and more immersive gameplay is leaving everyone in a state of anticipation. If the release lives up to expectations, this could become one of the most successful and acclaimed remakes of the modern era. The second bonus is the remake of Silent Hill 2, which has sparked great expectations among fans of psychological horror games. Although the game has not yet been released, the buzz surrounding it is immense, with many anticipating an experience that could redefine the genre for the new generation. This remake is being handled with extreme care, given the importance of the original, and everything suggests that the developers are committed to recreating the oppressive atmosphere and disturbing narrative that made this a landmark in horror games. The trailers and preliminary information suggest that this remake will focus on enhancing the elements that made the original a timeless classic. The expectation is that the updated graphics will bring new life to the town of Silent Hill, further heightening the sense of discomfort and fear that permeates every corner of the game. The gameplay also promises to be refined, maintaining the essence of exploration and puzzle solving while introducing improvements to suit modern players' tastes and demands. The soundtrack, always a crucial part of the experience, is being eagerly awaited, as it is one of the most iconic elements of the series. The hype surrounding this remake is through the roof. If the final product manages to capture the essence of what made Silent Hill 2 so special, while incorporating technological and narrative innovations, it has all the potential to become one of the greatest horror game remakes in history. Now, tell me, which remake impressed you the most? The one that exceeded all your expectations? And did I miss any remakes that you think should be on this list? I'm eager to hear what you think. Share your opinions in the comments below. I'd love to know your favorites. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to the Play Hunters channel. Here, you'll stay up to date with everything happening in the world of games, always keeping up with the hottest releases. Turn on notifications and come discover the best games, the best stories, and of course, the remakes worth playing with me. And before you go, I'm leaving a special card on the screen with a video about the best single-player games you need to play. Just click to watch. A big hug, and see you tomorrow.